Now let us see how we will be able to access the elements in 2D and 3D arrays, that is multi-dimensional arrays. We know how to access the elements in a 1D, a single dimensional array in a single vector. Now we'll also be able to know right after this session how we will be able to access the elements in a 2D and a 3D array. For that, first of all, let us create a 2D array. What do you mean by 2D array? In 2D array, we have several rows and each row is of some columns. So let us, of course, initially I just used an arrange function. In the arrange function, the total and one vector will be created from 0 to 15, right? Then I just reshaped into 4 into 4. So this is the array that is going to get created. I have 4 rows. In each row, I do have 4 columns. Okay, right then. First, initially, let us index. Here in a 2D array, in addition to every column, every row will also be indexed. Now, this becomes a column, right? 0, 1, 2, 3. If it is a single vector, it just becomes a column right now in a 2D array, right? So this is a column and this is a row. Now let us start with a row indexing, row positive indexing. This is row positive indexing. Okay, now this is 0, 1, 2, 3, and then row negative indexing, -4, -3, -2, -1. And now column positive indexing, this is row negative indexing. Okay, -4, -3, -2, 1, -1, and column negative indexing will be -4 to -1, and column positive indexing will be 0 to 3. Right now, initially, when we discussed about slicing the 1D arrays, we used a colon. Okay, this colon actually was is used to separate the indexes, right? When I say 0 to 3, we just will use the colon 0 to 3. Okay, in a single vector, this colon is going to separate the indexes, 0th index to 3rd index. That meaning the 3rd index will be excluded. Here, in a multi-dimensional array, we have rows, we have columns, in addition to which we also may have some accesses, some pages. So how do we use? In which, what would we say is, A of, let us say array of, we use x comma y comma z. What is x here? X will be the number of pages in a 3D array. Y will be the number of rows in each page. Now z meaning the column value. X will specify the row, the page in a 3D array. Y will specify the row and z will specify the column in each page. So now let us see how we are going to access this. Here what I have sliced, I just have taken, as I separated this with a comma. What is this comma? In a 2D array, the first part will become the row, second part will become the column. This is the row, this is the column. So what exactly does it mean? In this 2D array, from the first row to 3rd row, this is going to specify the row. In a 2D array, we have only 2 parameters, x comma y. What are these? X is the row number, y is the column number. Okay, so here these rows also are sliced. Here I used slicing 1:3, 1:3. What does it mean? From the first row to 3rd row, and the 3rd will get excluded. That is, in these 2 rows, what actually am I going to access? From the first column to 3rd column, these 2 columns will be accessed. From the first row to the 3rd row, from the first column to the 3rd column. So 5, 6, 9, 10 actually will be printed. So here, and again here, -3 to -1. -3 to -1. So now go by the negative indexing. The negative indexing -3 to -1 will be the same as 1, 2, 3, and again -3 to -1 will be the same of the positive indexing 1, 2, 3. Again 5, 6, 9, 10 will be printed. There is no difference because -3 exactly is equal to 1 and -1 exactly is equal to 3. So starting from -3, ending with -1. Since the -1 is getting discarded, only -3 and -2 rows will get selected. And again here also, -3 and -2 columns will only be selected here. -1 will be discarded. So what is going to get printed? 5, 6, 9, 10. Now here, let us understand. Here I just have taken an array A. There are, it's a 2D array. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows. And each row is of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. It's a 6 by 6 array. Now in which initially what I just am selecting? I am selecting array A of 0, 3, 5. What does it mean? It is the zeroth row. This is the 0th row, right? And 3, 5 from the third one. This is the third one, right? To 5. 5 will get discarded. So what is going to get printed? Obviously 3 and 4 will get printed, right? The output is 3, 4. And again, in the array A, there are two parameters specified. One is x and y. What is x? X is the rows. What is the row? Row is the fourth row. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, fourth row and a 5. Okay. And 4 colon and the next parameter is empty. What does it mean? From the fourth row to all the rows, that is these two. And again, from the fourth column to all the columns. What is the fourth column? This is the fourth column, these two. Okay. So from the fourth row, fourth and fifth rows, in the fourth and fifth rows, fourth and fifth columns, what will get printed? 28, 29, 34, 35. This is the output. And again, A, here row numbers are completely empty. What does it mean? All the rows will get selected. All the rows. And column is 2. In all the rows, second column will be printed. What is second column? This is 0, 1, 2. This is the second column. All the values of the second column in every row will get printed. What are those? 2, 8, 14, 20, 26, 32. This total will get printed. Similarly, I have two parameters here. What are those? Row and a column. Now here, from the second row onwards, okay, the next portion is empty. Meaning from the second row onwards, all the rows will get selected. Here there is a third parameter have been taken. What is the third parameter? Whenever you say third parameter in the slicing, right next to the colon, it states the step count. That means from the second row onwards, all rows will be selected. But by a step count of 2, what will get selected? 2 and 4. With a step count of 2 will get selected. Only 2 and 4 will get selected. And here, what is in the column? All the columns will get selected from the step count of 2. So, in the second and fourth row, every value will be printed from the step count of 2. So, what will be the output? 12, 14, 16, 24, 26, 28. So, understand carefully. The first value is 12, right after which the second value which is available at a step count of 2 is 14. We just need to take a stride of 2. We just cannot access this element. After 14, what is the next value is the step count of 2? Is a stride of 2? 16. So, what will get printed? 12, 14, 16, 24, 26, 28 will be printed. This is how we will be able to access the 2D arrays. But when it comes to the 3D arrays, there will be one more thing added, that is called page number. Okay. Now, see here, I do have a 3D array in which I have x, comma, y, comma, z. X is the number of pages, y is the number of rows, z is the number of columns. If you do have colon in between, that is going to specify a specific slicing part of that specific axis. Here, what is given? Total number of pages is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Total number of pages is, total number of pages is 3. 1, 2, 3. Each page is of 3 rows and 3 columns. Have a look at this. These are the 3 pages. Each row is of 3 rows and 3 columns. Right, done. 0, 1, 2 will be the, in each page there are 3 rows and each page is of 3 columns. Right now what am I selecting? I just am selecting from the first page to the third page. This is the first page, this is the third page. What will get selected? Third will get excluded, right? And from the first row to the third row, what is the first row? This is the first row. To the third row, there is no third row, and so 3 will get discarded. From first row to the third row, meaning 1 and 2 will get selected. Are we clear? And from first column to the third column, what will get selected? From the first column, what is the first column? This is the first column, and the third column will get neglected, so only second column will get selected. So, from the first page to the third page, these 2 pages will get selected, because first and second will only be included and 3 will get discarded. Since there is no third page, we don't need to be bothered much about it. From the first row to the third row, this is the first page to the third page, first row to the third row. What is the first row to the third row? This is the first row to the third row. Are we clear? And then from the first column to the third column, this is the first column and this is the second column, and the third column will get neglected. So what will be the output? 13, 14, 16, 17, 22, 23, 25, 26 will be the output. This is how you will be able to access a 3D array. Thank you.